Jersey Supreme Court. There's been a whole lot of fraud and collusion, and I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm just asking everybody, all the judges or anybody who's working on the case, to do what's right and do their job.
7. My mom had to sit down with me. I guess she thought I was old enough to know now, and she been saying Sean Carter, that's what she was calling him at first before she was calling it Jay-Z. And I really didn't know who that was because I was young and, you know, had my little brother, and I really wasn't worrying about it. She was saying it a lot, but I really just was going along with the person I was just seeing, like the person I looked at who was taking care of me at that time. I really wasn't really trying to understand what my mom was talking about, but she constantly put it in my head like, son, it's not your father, and I really want you to know it is. This person is your.
She's a big part of the problem for him, and some of the things that she was doing, a woman would not, she would have some sort of role in what her husband.
Z or any of his people tried to reach out to you to maybe like squash you from doing these?
I mean, I wouldn't say they trying to stop it, but they definitely don't want it out.
Beyonce didn't send a lawyer. She didn't send a cease and desist. What she allegedly did send was a late-night visitor to the doorstep of Jay-Z's supposed secret son with a chilling message, tell that boy to disappear. That's what M's legal guardian claimed happened right after they filed new court docs pushing for Jay-Z to finally take a DNA test. And less than 2 days after a federal judge ordered Jay-Z to respond, R's car got sprayed with bullets. This wasn't just legal pressure, it was billionaire-level cleanup mode. Rymir Satterthwaite was just a Philly teenager, only 16 years old when she crossed paths with Jay-Z, a 22-year-old grown man at the time. He allegedly took her across state lines, got her pregnant, and then vanished. No phone, no address, nothing. And this was back in 1992. No social media, no Jeep, no tracking apps. When someone disappeared, they were gone for real. Wanda never saw him again, but her life changed forever. She gave birth completely alone, and while she was unconscious from the trauma of childbirth, a man she barely knew signed away her baby's identity just to get some food stamps. That single signature didn't just rename her son, it wiped out his entire connection to Jay-Z's world. So ER grew up thinking this dude, Robert, was his real dad, until the truth hit like a bombshell when he turned 8. That's when Wanda sat him down and gave him the real story. She told him she had only ever been with 2 men, Robert and Jay-Z. And Robert, he already took a paternity test, it came back negative. Wanda didn't keep quiet, she told her family, her close friends, and when Rymir got old enough, she told the court too. But this wasn't some clout-chasing move. It was never about fame or money. All Wanda wanted was for Jay-Z to recognize his own flesh and blood. But every single time she reached out, she got iced out. She filed a civil suit back in the early 2000s, but it got thrown out just because it was filed in the wrong state. She hired lawyers, reached out to Rockefeller, even mailed documents to every address tied to Jay-Z's name, and still not a single response. Every door slammed harder than the last. By the time Rymir hit 18, he was done waiting. He picked up the fight himself. His mom's health was falling apart. Her heart was literally failing. But before she passed in 2019, she left behind one final bombshell, a sworn affidavit legally naming Sean Jay-Z Carter as her son's biological father. And her last words to Rymir, don't stop, make sure the world knows. That's when things turned dark. From the very second Rymir filed his case, everything felt off, like the whole system was working against him. Court documents kept getting bounced. Judges kept handing off the case like it was a game, motions ignored, legal teams dropped out, key evidence vanished. Let's stop right there. In New Jersey, if a man refuses to take a court-ordered paternity test, the law can straight up declare him the father by default. So how come Jay-Z never got hit with that ruling? That's when Rymir and his godmother, Lily Coley, started digging, and what they found made everything explode. Fake addresses, forged paperwork, lawyers allegedly playing both sides of the case, and a court system that started looking less like a courtroom and more like Roc Nation's personal clubhouse. But before we dive into that madness, there was one key detail that flipped everything: the jurisdiction trap. Jay-Z's legal team pulled a slick move. They argued he didn't live in New Jersey, so the court had no power over him. But here's the twist: he allegedly did have property in New Jersey during that time. The kicker? Beyonce's own mom, Tina Knowles, even wrote about it in her book. The proof was on the table, but the court just looked away like it meant nothing. Every piece of evidence Rymir and Lily brought forward, still not enough. Even when Wanda passed away, the court didn't slow down. They kept the case sealed and moved on like her death didn't matter. But for Rymir, it changed everything. Now it wasn't just about DNA, it was about keeping his mother's final wish alive. And the closer he crept toward the truth, the more twisted and dangerous things got. By the time Rymir finally got the court to even look at his case, it was after years of stonewalling and silence. But according to Lily Coley, the courts didn't just fail him, they were in on it. She claims that during one of Wanda's hospital stays, while the woman was sedated and barely conscious, Jay-Z's team sent in legal reps with papers for her to sign. It all seemed way too convenient. Wanda was the only living person who could directly testify about that night. She claimed Jay-Z took her to Brooklyn. She was the only one who could look a judge in the eye and say, "That man is the father of my child." And just months before the case was finally set to move forward, she was gone. According to Lily Coley, Wanda had no clue what she was signing in that hospital bed. Whatever she signed, it flipped the whole power game in Jay-Z's favor. His team got the upper hand and started shutting the case down before it even got rolling. But it gets worse, much worse. Lily now says that ER's own legal team might have been in on the setup. Let that sink in. The very people who were supposed to fight for him allegedly sabotaged his case from the inside. One lawyer reportedly added typos to court documents on purpose. Another switched sides completely after gaining access to private info. And if this all sounds like some wild conspiracy, let's be real, they've got receipts. In 2023, Rymir and Lily dropped a civil rights lawsuit against the entire New Jersey court system. They accused the courts of fraud, case manipulation, and straight up blocking justice on purpose. Their mission? Unseal the files, reopen the case, and call out every single person who helped cover it up. But just when it seemed like the truth was finally cracking through, things took a deadly turn. Right after the court officially ruled that Jay-Z had to respond, ER's life was nearly snatched away. This wasn't just some street beef, this felt personal, like someone wanted Rymir gone, for good. And according to Lily, one name kept popping up again and again over the years. Beyonce, the queen of silence, the master of polished PR, the one who moves in total control. Lily claims Beyonce sent someone straight to her house. People started whispering, then shouting, was Beyonce really just protecting her man, or was she covering up something even darker? Because seriously, why would Beyonce, the most powerful woman in music, allegedly get involved in a paternity fight that Jay-Z claims isn't even real? Unless the stakes weren't just emotional, they were criminal. Let's break it down. If Jay-Z is officially named the father of a child conceived when the mom was just 16 years old, this ain't no family drama anymore. That's a possible criminal case. And then came Jaguar Wright. She's been exposing the industry for years, and now she jumped into this mess too, dropping breakdowns online and calling people out by name. But things really got wild when Nicki Minaj and 50 Cent stepped in. 50 didn't just watch from the sidelines. He posted the court updates himself saying, Jay-Z is trending because the judge granted Ryr's request to move forward, and Jay-Z's been ordered to respond by July 18th. And Nicki, she backed it up, loud. She reposted the news and shared a clip from Rymir Hadley, the estranged daughter of Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez. In that video, Rymir exploded, saying Roc Nation ruined Nicki's career, went after her husband, her child, and tried to shut her voice down completely. This wasn't just some petty rant. Rymir Hadley came with smoke and receipts. She dropped a massive page-by-page takedown and made it crystal clear, don't ever call me a liar, don't even insinuate it. Every single angel ever created fights for me when that word touches my name. And everyone who played the wrong side in this story, you will pay, every last one of you. Rymir didn't hold back. She claims Jay-Z owes her money, ghosted her music, and used the Roc Nation machine to strangle her career. And now, she says he's doing the exact same thing to Rymir. But this time, the internet's wide awake, and if Jay-Z thinks he can silence a grown man fighting to honor his mother's name, he's in for a rude awakening, because Ryr's not backing down. While Jay stays silent in public, behind the scenes, he was allegedly pulling every string he could. According to Lily, every single time Ryr's case started gaining traction, something shady happened. One judge suddenly retired mid-case, another claimed conflict of interest. Key court filings mysteriously disappeared. When Rymir tried to reopen the case with new evidence, denied again. This wasn't just sloppy court work, this was a cover-up. Then Jay-Z jumped into the mix with a verse on his track Heard About Us, where he raps, Billie Jean in his prime for the 1,000th time. The kid ain't mine. Online, they call me dad kiddingly. You're not supposed to take this dad thing literally. And he keeps going. I'm too famous. We don't even really do famous. I'm cool on that, Chuck. The 2 fingers every day. I'm getting sued. I show up to court without a suit. Let's be real. That wasn't a bar for the blogs. That was a direct hit at Rymir. But here's the twist. Rymir wasn't the only one. Y'all remember Free from 106 and Park back in the day? Wendy Williams once went on air and claimed Jay-Z had a secret child with Free. And get this, she even said Jay-Z and 50 Cent were both in the delivery room. Right after that, Free vanished from the spotlight. And according to insiders, she was allegedly paid off to stay silent. But on the flip side, Rymir, he's not asking for money. He's made that crystal clear from day one. Rymir and Lily aren't even suing Jay-Z directly anymore. They've taken aim at the entire system. And here's the part that's got people shook. Jay-Z still hasn't taken the test. Not because he's busy, not because he missed a deadline, but allegedly because taking that test could blow everything up. And if that DNA test comes back positive, it's no longer just a scandal, it's a crime. Because back when Wanda was 16 and Jay-Z was 22, taking her across state lines and getting her pregnant, that could bring real charges. Now the countdown is on, and Jay-Z has until July Carter empire they've spent decades building. Jay-Z still hasn't taken that test, not because he can't, but because if it comes back positive, the whole empire could crumble in front of the world. This ain't just about a father and a son. This could become the biggest scandal hip-hop has ever seen. So what do you think? Is Jay-Z running from the truth or just playing it smart? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like, smash that subscribe, and don't forget to share this story with someone who needs to hear it. We'll see you in the next one.